Okay, so we'll see the solutions for class 8. Okay, which of the following is not a carrot crop? So, what do you know about carrot crop? So, carrot crop, so they are called as rainy crops, or rainy season crops which is grown in rainy season. So, that is during the June to September. So, that is before October. Okay, so they have asked like which is not the carrot crop. So, we have to know. So, which are the examples of carrot crop? So, carrot crop, they have examples like paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut, okay, cotton. So these are the different examples for carrot crop. So which you will see. Paddy is there, maize is there. See, wheat is not there, soybean is there. So what about this wheat? Wheat is rabi crop. So the correct option will be wheat. Because wheat is not a carrot crop. Okay. The second option will be the process of loosening and turning the soil is called. So they're asking what is the process known as. First of all, this harvesting. We'll see what are the different options definition. Okay, harvesting is cutting off crops. So once the cultivation is over, so the crops will be removed from the plants. So they will be segregated. So that process is called as harvesting. Sowing means sowing of seeds, like seeding. So that is sowing. Weeding means removal of weeds. Which means, like it's unwanted plant, which is not to be there, like it has to be removed. So that removal process called as weeding. Fluffing is nothing but it's otherwise called as tilling. So this is a process where the soil is turned and loosened. Okay, so this is done for to increase the fertility, like to enhance the nutrients in the soil, and also to get the moisture which is present in the deep, like the next and third, second, third layers of soil to be having more moisture. That moisture will be like it's recycled. So that's why this ploughing process is done. So the correct option will be C, ploughing. Third one, identify this image. So this image, so it's definitely not a hoe. Hoe means like they will be, it's like a literally a gun-like thing. Okay, so it's not a hoe. And if you take the tractor, tractor is a vehicle, so that's not a tractor. Mod is also a different one. So this is seed drill. The seeds will be placed here inside this. Then the seeds will be sown. So this seed drill is useful especially for large fields. Okay, so large fields now like this human power is not sufficient for even sowing. That's why the sowing is done by this seed drill. Okay, correct option is seed drill. Fourth question. So assertion reason question is assertion. They've asked manure improves soil texture and water holding capacity. And reason is manure is rich in humus and increases the number of friendly microbes. So right, this manure it doesn't have chemicals. It's prepared like it's a very organical thing. Okay, so it can be prepared like very easily, like doesn't need require any chemicals. It doesn't require any machines to like doesn't like no need for like that has to be prepared only in industries or not. No. So manure is prepared very, very easily. Like manure, different menus are there. Compost, like vermicompost is there. This normal compost, like using all this vegetable waste and peels and all. So those are not a compost. And this vermicompost is done with the help of earthworms. Okay. Like manure, these are manure. Cow dung is a different manure. So those are used to give some nutrients and also to retain moisture. Manure is given only for retaining the moisture, like mainly for moisture purpose. Only then after that they give some nutrients and all, like they undergo some decomposition process. So fine, everything is okay. But the manure is done mainly for the water, like the moisture level of the soil. Okay. So if you take this assertion, manure improves soil texture and water holding capacity. Yes. So they improve soil texture and also the moisture. So the assertion is correct. Reason, if you take reason, manure is rich in humus and increases the number of friendly microbes. Okay. So they are, yes, they have this microorganism that deals with the decomposition process. So when the decomposition process is done, so the soil's fertility will be increased. Okay. So the reason is also correct. Okay. So then what is the answer? The answer will be A. Why? Because as the manure contains this humus and they have this, like they help in the decomposition process. That's why they are helpful in increasing the soil texture and also the water level in the soil. So the correct option will be A. Fifth question. Statement 1. Sowing seeds at proper distance provides overcrowding. Statement 2. Overcrowding of plants reduces availability of sunlight and nutrients. Yes. So the sowing seeds at proper distance are like in the previous question, like in third question, we have seen the seed drill. Yes, seed drill is used. Why? Like it is very like it's used in large fields because they help in the even spreading of seeds. Got it. So the even spreading should be there in seeds, like by while sowing the seeds. That's why only then they can get the proper nutrients and proper irrigation water. Okay, or else some seeds will get crowded between them, and some like few seeds won't get nutrients. Okay, that's why the seed drill and all used in large fields, especially in large fields. So statement one, sowing seeds at proper distance prevent overcrowding. Yes, prevents overcrowding. Yes, overcrowding of plants reduce the availability of sunlight and nutrients. Yes. So if the so if there is clumsy of seeds at one place, then those like all seeds in that clumps, they won't get proper nutrients and proper sunlight. Yes. So the answer will be both statement one and two are correct. Sixth question, which is not the incorrect statement regarding manure. Okay, so they're asking which is not the incorrect statement. So that means they're asking directly, they're asking which is the correct statement. Okay, so they didn't ask which is the incorrect statement, or they didn't ask which is not the correct statement. So they're asking which is not the incorrect statement. So don't get confused. If two nots come now, so that will be like it symbolically represents yes, correct thing. Okay, so here which is not incorrect means that means which is incorrect. So you have to think, okay, which is the correct statement. So which is incorrect means like which is not incorrect means it's correct statement. Correct statement regarding manure. Okay. Then you have to check man-made inorganic salt. Okay. It's not inorganic. I told you manure is the organic one. So option A is not correct. B. Prepared in factories. No, I told you like fertilizers only require like preparation factories and also they are rich in NPK. But in case of manure, it provides a lot of humus to soil. So the correct statement regarding manure will be provides a lot of humus to soil. But seventh question, observe the image and select the correct option. Okay, so they have given a picture. So the picture where the cattle is helping for the irrigation. So if you take this moat, what is this moat? So it is a pulley system. Okay, where the like it is done by help of rope and pulley only. So it is taken from well, the water irrigation system. So it doesn't involve the cattle. So moat is not correct. Daily, So the ekli is also a traditional method where the water is fetched from well using a stick and stone. That's more traditional method. Okay. To take this chain pump also, so they have this chakra thing, a wheel-like thing, so where it rotates and it will helpful in fetching the water. And what about this rahat? So rahat involves the utilization of cattle. So the correct option will be D. Eighth question, select the wrong statement regarding sprinkler system. So you know the sprinkler system, sprinkler is sprinkling water continuously. So it is done in uneven land. We'll see what are the which doesn't apply for the sprinkler system. Option A, useful in uneven land. Yes, definitely it is useful in uneven land. There is low because if it is the land is even, we can use different irrigation system like canal irrigation and all we can use very easily. But if it is uneven land, it's better to use some tool like sprinkler to do some sprinkling of water. Yes. So option A is correct. We take this B, pipes have rotating nozzles. Yes, that's why it's called a sprinkler because it will continuously rotate and it sprinkles so that the water will be dispersed to even distribution, like it can disperse evenly. Yes, you take this, so option B is also correct statement. So what about C? Very useful for lawns, coffee. So they can useful for this coffee plant and for lawns. Okay, so C is also correct. D. Water is not allowed under pressure. But the thing is, water is allowed under pressure. Okay. So water will be continuously flowing under pressure where it can be sprinkled. So the correct option for 8 will be D. And question, excessive use of chemical fertilizers lead to. So they've asked excessive use of chemical fertilizers. Like fertilizers is chemical more. They have more chemicals. They have this NPK. Yes. So like they are prepared in factories and all. So anyway, they have to be used for the soil to get nutrients, right? So they're asking like if it is more used, like more excessive use, what it will lead. Okay. A, increase soil fertility. B, water pollution and soil infertility. C, better soil texture and water retention. D, increase in humus content. So this C and D option will be applicable for manure, not for fertilizer. Okay, because the increase in humus content will be done by manure. The soil texture and water retention will be done by manure. The soil fertility is applicable for fertilizer, but if it is used in a limited level. If it is overused, they have asked the question itself, they have asked like excessive use. So if you're using overusing now, so then the water pollution and soil infertility will occur. So the correct option will be B. 10th question. Statement 1. Sprinkler irrigation is best suited for uneven land. Statement 2. Drip irrigation wastes lot of water. Yes. So if we take the statement 1, sprinkler irrigation is best suited for uneven land. Yes. So they are good for uneven land. So just now we have seen. Statement 2, drip irrigation wastes lot of water. Definitely no. Because drip irrigation is the irrigation process where the water comes drop by drop. So there is no chance of water loss. Like wastage of water doesn't take place in drip irrigation. So the statement 2 is wrong. But statement 1 is correct. So the correct option will be C. 11th question. Which disease is caused by protozoa? Okay. So you have to know like these are the microorganisms are there. The different microorganisms are there. What is that? Bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa, virus. So these are the different microorganisms. So some microorganism will cause disease, some microorganism will be helpful for us. There are friendly microorganisms also there. Okay, so they are in this, they are asking like which disease is caused by protozoa. We take this tuberculosis is caused by bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. We take this polio, it's caused by virus. And we take this malaria, it's caused by protozoa. And last one, if we take this cholera, it's also a bacteria. Vibrio cholerae. It's caused by Vibrio cholerae. Polio virus and tuberculosis caused by Mycobacterium tuberculae. Okay, but this malaria is caused by Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a protozoa. It is transmitted by Anopheles mosquito. Okay, it's transmitted by a mosquito, type of mosquito called Anopheles mosquito. It's caused by Plasmodium. So Plasmodium is nothing but belongs to protozoan family. Okay, so the correct option will be malaria. Pasteurization of milk involves. So they're asking a definition of pasteurization. So pasteurization is the process where the milk is heated and cooled. Like heat for it's given a high temperature for more than 60 degrees Celsius for some time. Then again it brought to low temperatures. Is cooling is done after some time. Okay, that is the pasteurization. It's done by it was introduced by Louis Pasteur. Yes, so he did the for the purpose of to avoid the spoilage of milk. He brought this procedure. Okay, so in this, like I told you, it is a heating and consequently cooling. That is the pasteurization. Okay, so if you take this cooling the milk to 10 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes, no, not correct. Keeping milk in the sun for 1 hour, no, definitely. Adding vinegar to milk, no. So the correct option will be B. Heating the milk to about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds, then cooling rapidly. 13th question, find out the organism given in the image. So this organism is nothing but penicillium. So the Chlamydomonas is different, it's an algae. And so they will be like a conical thing like shape. This Chlamydomonas. Paramecium will be elongated in shape. They have more cilia outside the body. They are pellicle in shape. Okay, so they have nucleus inside, and so that is paramecium. Aspergillus is moreover similar to penicillium, but penicillium is little bit branched. Okay, more branches will be there. You take this aspergillus, it will be like this. Sub branches will be there in penicillium. But if you take this aspergillus, they have a simple structure. When compared to penicillium, aspergillus have simpler structure only. They have this conidiophores and all will be there in aspergillus. So this is aspergillus, and this is paramecium, and this is Chlamydomonas. So the given picture, the question is penicillium. Okay, you know about penicillium, right? Penicillium is a fungi from where the antibiotic penicillin is prepared first, like the first antibiotic prepared by Alexander Fleming. Okay, yes. So the correct option will be B. Question number 14. It's assertion reason question. Viruses are considered microorganisms. Of course, correct. So just now I told microorganisms include bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa, and virus. So virus belongs to microorganism. Why it's called as microorganism? Because yes, one reason is we cannot see through our naked eye. We can see only under microscope. Not even a compound microscope. It can be viewed only through electron microscope. That much smaller is that virus, smaller than bacteria. Okay, so if we take this reason, one more reason for this virus to considered as microorganism because they develop inside the host cells of the host. Yes, so they are considered as microorganism Virus can reproduce only inside the cells of ours. That's why, so right, virus is a bridge between uh, plant, like what is that? So it's a bridge between living and non-living thing. Why? Because it is living, because they develop or they reproduce in the present inside the host cell. They are non-living because they can able to crystallize when there is no host. Na? They can able to crystallize its body. That's why viruses are considered as a bridge between living and non-living creatures. So the correct option will be A, because both assertion and reason are correct, and reason explains why they are placed in the microorganism category. Okay. Yes. 15th question. Pick out the place where bacteria does not live. So it's quite tricky, but it's an interesting question. Okay, because bacteria, like bacteria, like if you take this virus, they have some specification. They can live only in the host. If you take this plant virus, they live only in the plant cells. Take animal virus, they live inside animal cell. So if we take the algae, algae fungi and all, like they grow like in the places like moisture places where there is more moisture. But if you take bacteria, they don't have any restrictions. They don't have any specification. They live in any environment. Okay. So they can live in your hands, they can live in your ears. Even now you're holding a pen, so it will be living there in notebook, etc. So it lives anywhere. Okay. Yes. That's why like I've given like ice cold region, hot springs, deserts, none of the above. So the answer will be none of the above. Because they've asked the place, pick out the place where bacteria does not live. They ask where it lives means you can say all the above, but they have asked does not live. So there is no restriction. Like no, you can live in any place. That's the answer. Okay, so that's why we have to give the option as none of the above. 16th question: common salt and sugar prevent food spoilage by reducing moisture. This is statement one. Statement two: microorganisms need moisture for their growth. So if you take statement one, common salt and sugar, definitely. So if you take this best example will be pickle. So mom and grandmom love will do this pickle. So they will add some vinegar and they will add some salt. Why? Because the pickle won't. The pickle we use some vegetables, right? So if you take this lemon pickle, lemons are used. If you take garlic pickle, garlics are used. Okay. In order to avoid this spoilage, salt and vinegar are used. Okay. So in that case, some bacteria or some fungi won't come and invade and they don't cause any spoilage. That's why they are used. Got it. So that's so common salt and sugar prevent food spoilage by reducing moisture. Yes. So they prevent the food spoilage. We take the statement two, microorganisms need moisture for their growth. Yes. Especially this fungi. Whenever there is moisture, it will cause spoilage. The best example will be the bread spoilage. So if like bread should be stored in a dry place. If the breads like it is exposed to some like even a small drop of water, what will happen? It will give a good room for the fungal growth. Okay. So microorganisms, especially the fungi and some bacteria, they require moisture. If there is moisture, definitely the fungal growth or bacterial growth will be there and spoilage will occur. 16th question, the correct answer will be because the first one is correct. Statement 2 is also correct. So option A. 17th question, statement 1, blue-green algae increase soil fertility. Statement 2, they fix atmospheric nitrogen into soil. Here also, both statements are correct. Blue-green algae, so they are like, they mainly helps in soil fertility. They fix the nitrogen to the soil and that is utilized by the leguminous plants. Okay, so they provide this, they help like they are mostly known as symbionts. Okay, so that means they help each other. Okay, so this blue-green algae, this microorganism will trap the atmospheric nitrogen, and because of that, because we know that, right, in that, like in this crop production chapter, we have studied the fertilizer, this NPK fertilizer, that means nitrogen, is phosphorus and potassium. So nitrogen is very much required for a plant to grow. So it's required for soil fertility. So in this case, so this blue-green algae, so they trap the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, and because of that, the soil fertility increases. Okay. So as a result, both statement 1 and 2 are correct. 18th question. Malaria is caused by A. It is, they have given a, like we have to find what is A. Transmitted through B, can be prevented by C. Okay. So they have to ask like protozoa. So they have given, so we'll see options. We'll find the what is A. I've told you like malaria is caused by plasmodium, which is nothing but the protozoa. So if you take option A is protozoa. Option A, like option B also A protozoa. It takes option C, A is virus, A is bacteria, and D. So C and D is not correct. Okay. So take 1 and 2. That is first option, second option. It will find the B. Okay. So transmitted through bacteria. So that is transmitted through mosquito. Got it? Yes. So if you take both options, there's mosquito. So both options has protozoa and mosquito. We'll see the third one, C. Okay. So if you take C, it can be prevented by taking bath. No. But if you like, you have to protect us from mosquito. It doesn't mean like if you take bath and sit na, like mosquito won't come and bite. Okay, so mosquito can be avoided if you are using some repellents, this mosquito net, something like that. Okay, so after only that, like we can prevent the mosquito bites. So if you take na, so the option will be D. 19th question. Assertion A. Food poisoning is caused by microorganism. Reason. Some microorganisms produce toxic substance in food which make it poisonous. So, food poisoning is caused by microorganisms. Of course, definitely most of the food poisoning will be done by microorganisms, action of microorganism only. Reason, some microorganisms produce toxic substance in food which make it poisonous. Yes. So what actually happened inside the food poisoning? Some microorganisms, if you take this botulism, like it's a botulinum toxin. Okay, so it is produced by Clostridium botulinum. So it's a bacteria. Okay, so this particular bacteria will produce a toxin called botulin. Okay, this botulin toxin. Okay, this botulin toxin will be produced in that particular food. If we take that particular food, no, so we will get some side effects. Some effective things will be happen due to this toxic products. So both assertion reason are correct. They are a correct explanation of assertion. So 19th A. 20th question. Which microorganism is used in commercial production of alcohol? Yes, of course. So this is by yeast. Why not lactobacillus? Lactobacillus is for curd. Rhizobium is for this nitrogen fixation in the soil. What about this penicillium? Is for antibiotics. So yeast is useful for production of alcohol, not only alcohol, some baking products, cake, bread, etc. Why? Because yeast undergoes fermentation process. Yes.